Today I'm going to share my favorite lens for fashion photography and take you behind the scenes of a shoot with that lens. Hey everybody, Lindsay Adler here, and people love to talk about gear with me. And one of the most common questions is, okay, what is the right lens for XYZ? What's the best portrait lens, best fashion lens, best beauty lens? And here's the thing, there's no such thing as the best anything. It all depends on the way you shoot, your vision, your needs. However, all of that being said, I'd like to tell you my favorite fashion lens. This lens, when I'm shooting something full-length fashion, mid-length fashion, even a tight headshot, it's the lens that I grab at least 75% of the time. Sometimes if I really need to travel and work light, it's the only lens that I would take. Okay, so big secret reveal, the lens is the Canon RF 24-105. So let me explain why this is my lens of choice. Many portrait photographers love their fast primes. Their 85-1.2, their 50-1.4, that's their go-to lens. And so people are really surprised when they hear that primes aren't the first thing I reach for. And that's because a lot of the time I'm shooting in the studio and I'm not shooting at really wide apertures. In fact, in a setup like this, I'm usually at f8 or f11. I'm not trying to blur out the background and my subject is moving a lot. So I don't need to shoot at a wide aperture, so I don't want it to be fighting against me and having to worry about missing my focus. So there's no reason for me to have to grab a 1.2 or a 1.4 lens. Now the next consideration people will say is, oh wait, aren't primes sharper? I mean, some primes are sharper than others, but this 24-105 is tack sharp, and so I'm not really sure exactly what people would be looking for additional sharpness. Usually you'll notice a lens appearing sharper when you're at those wider apertures and you see the difference between something in focus and out of focus. Well, again, in the studio, that's not how I'm shooting. I'm often shooting on solid, seamless backgrounds and my work is very clean, bold, and graphic, so that's just not a consideration for me most of the time. All right, so next up, the other reason I select this lens is its versatility. If you watch me shoot, I am really active. I get down low, I stand up high, I zoom in for a tight shot, then a mid shot. I'm all over the place because I'm trying to capture the moment and go with the flow of the shoot. So when I have a 24-105, it's the only lens that I need to capture a range of shots. Typically what I'll do is I'll maybe shoot my full length shot first. Then I'll move in and see if there's a 3/4 length. And then if there's a pose where the subject looks great in their face angle and their shoulders, then I'll pop in and get a close shot. The 24-105 is covering a wide range of crops and compositions. When I'm shooting a fashion editorial, I don't want every single shot to be the exact same composition, so this lens gives me the flexibility without slowing me down and requiring me to constantly switch up my gear. 24-105 is my favorite focal length of choice, and my go-to camera is the Canon R5, and that's why I paired it with the RF 24-105. Now, I've mentioned that this is my go-to, this is my favorite, but is it my only fashion lens? 1000% no. A lot of times when I go on location, that is when I will grab my faster primes, and there are times when I want to get tighter than going to that 105, but most of the time, the single lens covers my bases for a wide range of different needs. So I want to show you a pretty standard fashion lighting setup using one light. It looks rich, it looks beautiful, and it is a favorite lighting setup for model comp cards. So basically the images that models will use to promote themselves. It looks great full length and close up. So to begin with, we have a large umbrella with diffusion to the right-hand side of the frame. And fundamentally, this just means it's a soft light source. But by moving it to the side of the frame, it introduces a little bit of sculpting, dimension, and shadow to the shot. It makes it a little bit more dramatic and mysterious without going too dark. Now, I'm shooting on a Savage Universal fashion gray background. The reason I love this background is because depending on how I feather my light, I can point the light towards that background and make it brighter, or feather it away, change the angle to make it darker. So it makes it very versatile and I can change the mood I'm achieving in the shot. And then last but not least, the only other thing for this setup is I have a white Vflat II, the left-hand side of the frame. All this does is it lifts up the shadows on my subjects so they aren't quite as dark. It's a pretty simple setup, but it looks great whether you're shooting close up or full length, and my subject can move around and the light will consistently look good on her. that I showed you here in this video, be sure to check out my class, One Light Artistry. In this class, I show you all of the different variables and control that you have when using a single light to create a wide range of different creative images with just that one light. So if you want to check out the 24 to 105 or see the other gear used in the making of these images, be sure to check out the links in the description below. And of course, you're going to want to subscribe to Canon USA's YouTube because they have a lot more videos just like this one coming your way. See you next time, guys.